expert.
Jen takes
we
more
are not.
cruises.
Jen, if you go out at the stops and explore wherever you stop, there's no way you can tackle all that.
I've done one Royal Caribbean cruise, and it was one of the bigger cruise ships at the time, just a few years ago. And I think it was the last day that I discovered so many new things on the ship. It was like a day at sea. You're like, I didn't know this was there. I didn't know that was there.
Right.
And so, I mean, they're cool. They're not my favorite just because I think that they are extremely big. So if that's something that you want out of a cruise, but I didn't quite feel the cruise experience.
You'll have to like lots of people if you want to go on that one. 10,000 folks is a lot.
Yeah,
on one ship.
10,000. Wow. So yeah, big cruise ship, but hey, in case that's something we want to do now in Florida, something to check out. Well, going ahead and taking a look at conditions out there right now, beginning to see more of those clear sunny skies. Some of that light cloud cover beginning to roll in. Again, very light, mainly just starting to see some of that for our Mississippi counties so far. But let's talk about those temperatures. Starting off for this morning, Mobile officially saw its first freeze of the year. Temperatures to begin this morning, 32 in Mobile, the Eastern Shore, Gulf Shores. I had a home weather station at my house in Daphne, and it was reading 31 at 7 a.m. to begin for this morning. Even Evergreen, Crestview, and Pascagoula seeing temperatures in the upper 20s to start. Now, this is typical for our first freeze of the year, so we're not too late, we're not too early with this. For the past 5 years, we've typically seen some of these falling in mid-November, late November, but in Mobile, the average first freeze is between November 21st and the 30th. Today is the 29th, so we just made that deadline to be on average for 2023. Now, temperatures right now quickly beginning to warm up. We're seeing more of those mid to upper 40s, some lower to mid 50s out there. But heading later on into today, daytime highs maxing out, really seeing more of those upper 50s with a few of those lower 60s mixed in. But once again, by 8 o'clock, temperatures dipping down to the upper 40s. Now, this is a short-lived cold snap. Heading closer towards the weekend, we're back up into the 70s to begin for December with increased rain chances. Coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about that, the timing plus your 7-day outlook. Those details coming up soon. Joe. Yeah, going ahead and taking a look at conditions out there right now, beginning to see more of those blue sunny skies. Mobile Bay looks calm out there, and traffic moving smoothly on the Causeway and the Bayway. Now, temperatures right now resting in the lower 50s, seeing plenty of sunshine. Feels like temperatures right on the dot, but heading later on into today, daytime highs going to be maxing out, seeing a few upper 50s out there, but mainly more of those lower 60s as we make it into the second half of today. But calm conditions for your Wednesday and your Thursday, but then making our way towards the end of the week, things will be changing. We're introducing more of that less of that sunshine, more of those rain chances, but also warm, humid air. Things are really going to be changing. Temperatures resting in the lower 70s by the time we get closer towards Friday. And so a mixture of warm, humid air, a next front moving in. Well, we're looking at the potential for some of those stronger storms. So the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, already has our area outlined in a 1 out of 5 risk zone heading closer towards Friday. Right now, the biggest thing that we're looking at is going to be some of those gusty straight line winds within some of these storms, but we'll continue to monitor as we do get closer and keep you updated. It's just important right now, stay weather aware heading closer towards the weekend. Now, as we time things out on our future cast, starting off for this morning, we're going to be seeing more of that sunshine, but a few more clouds making their way our way closer towards this afternoon. Overnight hours, similar look, staying calm and quiet, staying that way heading into Thursday. All of that rain further off towards the west, not quite impacting us heading into tomorrow, but then overnight into Thursday night into Friday, that's when a lot of that's going to begin moving in. So heading into Friday, a wet, soggy day. Now, don't get too focused on the timing for some of this. We're still a few days out. This is just one future cast model, mainly expecting some scattered thunderstorms heading into Friday, continuing into the rest of the weekend. We make our way into the afternoon. We start to see some of that rain beginning to push in, heavier pockets at times. Now, this Futurecast model really wants to bring that heaviest band further out east heading into your Friday evening. However, like I mentioned, we're still 2 days away from this event moving in. Still going to be seeing some of those isolated storms elsewhere, even if the most heavy portions are staying further away. And then we make our way into Saturday morning. This is the furthest it goes out. That's where we'll really start to see things Not looking the prettiest out there. More of that heavy rain beginning to push in. Now, our rip current was also reflective of the changing weather. Low today, moderate heading into tomorrow, and then by Friday, it bumps up to high, and that's what we'll see daytime highs in the 70s when we actually flip water temperature being colder than the air temperature. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about your forecast, your full 7-day outlook, and what the rest of the weekend's shaping up to look like. Those details are coming up soon. Joe.